Hello, class 512. Today is Monday, March 16th, 2020, and today we're going to be doing your favorite book, Reading Advantage 2. So we're going to start with Unit 19, okay? Unit 19 on page 83. Unit 19, page 83. So what I want you to do, the same as always, I want you to answer questions 1, 2, and 3, okay? Have you ever heard a story you thought was true but turned out to be false? So did you ever hear about a story that you thought was true and then it turned out that it was fake? Number 2, are there any famous stories from long ago in your country? Do you know if there's any truth to them? Are there any famous stories that are really old about Korea or some weird thing that were not true? What is the most unusual story you have ever heard? What is the craziest, weirdest story you've ever heard? It didn't make any sense. It was super weird. What was the craziest story? Write it down. And then when you've done questions 1, 2, and 3, I want you to do the target vocabulary and we will correct together. So pause the video while you answer question 1, 2, 3 and do the target vocabulary, okay? So pause the video. Okay. So I'm hoping you did 1, 2, 3. Now I will give you the answers for target vocabulary. Match each word with the best meaning. Bizarre is going to be B. Very strange or unusual. Number 2, legend is going to be F. A story or myth, usually from long ago. Obvious is going to be A. Easy and clear to see and understand. Shrink is going to be C. Become smaller. D is going to be threaten. So threaten is D. Say you will do something bad if someone doesn't do what you want. E is urban. Related to a city. Urban is E. Version is H. That's going to be a particular form of something that is similar but not the same as earlier and later forms. And victim is going to be G. Someone who has been hurt or killed by someone or something. Okay? So I'll show you the answers just so you get them. All right, so pause the video and make sure you have the right answers. Okay? All right, we're going to move on. Okay? So I'm going to read now. All right, so get ready. Have you ever heard about the woman who put her wet dog in the microwave to dry it and ended up cooking her dog by mistake? Or did you hear about the man who died at his desk at work and nobody in the office noticed he was dead for 5 days? These stories have 2 things in common. They are not true and they are urban legends. Urban legends are usually stories about things that happened recently and took place in cities or in places well known to people. Another characteristic of urban legends is that there are many different versions of the same story with local information changed to make the story seem more real. Today, the internet has a common way for urban legends to spread very quickly. Some stories that sound like urban legends actually start from bizarre real events. For example, there is a story about muggers using snakes to rob people. There have been real reports about muggers doing this. The muggers threaten a victim by holding a snake in the person's face. Then the robbers take the victim's money. According to the legend, these robbers are very common, so you should keep an eye out for strangers carrying snakes. Other urban legends have been around for a long time, and many people just believe them as facts. A good example of this kind of urban legend is related to the Great Wall of China. The myth is that the Great Wall can be seen from the moon. However, astronauts who have been to the moon say that even the size of countries shrinks too much at that distance. It is obvious to most people when they think about it that from the moon it is impossible to see cities or things built by man. but some people believe the Great Wall can be seen from orbit above the Earth. However, this is also a myth. Shuttle astronaut Jay Apt looked for it but could not find it. He reported seeing airports, but he couldn't see the Great Wall. He guessed that it was because it was almost the same color as the land around it. So reread that if you have to. Read it again. And now what I want you to do is I want you to circle the best answer, reading comprehension, question 1 to 5, and do the idioms. So pause the video while you go do that, and then we'll come back and correct together, okay? So pause. All right. Circle the letter of the best answer. What is the best title for the passage? The answer is going to be D, Bizarre Stories. Bizarre Stories, D. Number 2, what is not true about urban legends? Number 2A, they usually take place in the country or in small towns. That is wrong. They take place in cities or places that are popular to people. Number 3, according to the passage, what do muggers do with snakes? And the answer is going to be C, show them to people, okay? They show the snake and then the person gives them their money because they are afraid of snakes. Number 4, what is an urban myth about the Great Wall of China described in the passage? And the answer is D, it can be seen from space. Number 5, which story in the passage really happened? The answer here is D, the muggers who threaten victims with snakes. So here are the answers. Make sure you have them. So D, A, 3 is C, 4 D, 5 D. Okay? So pause the video, get the right answers. All right. Now, idioms. So take a second to make sure you have the idioms. Hear about, have something in common, or keep an eye out. Okay? So, hear about. That one's in the very first sentence. Have you heard about the woman who put her dog in the microwave to dry it? Number 2, have something in common with. That is going to be, let's see if I can find it very quickly. So that's in the first paragraph, right at the end. These stories have 2 things in common. They are not true and they are urban legends. And number 3, keep an eye out for. That one is going to be at the end. According to legend, these robbers are very common, so you should keep an eye out for strangers carrying snakes. Now, page 86, I want you guys to do A and B, and then we're going to correct it together, okay? So pause the video while you do A and B, and then we'll get started, okay? Pause. Okay. Number 1, circle the letter of the word or phrase that best completes the sentence. There is a traditional Japanese legend about Momotaro, the peach boy. Number 2, the question on the test was too easy. The answer was obvious to everyone. A. 2 is A. Number 3, Harvey threatened to quit his job if he did not get more money. B. Number 3 is B, threatened. Number 4, when you're at the shopping mall today, keep an eye out for any bargains. Number 4 is D, keep an eye out. Number 5, in many countries, people are leaving farms and moving to A, urban areas. Number 6, the robber was caught and the money was returned to the B, victim. Okay? Here are your answers. Pause the video to make sure you got the right answers. All right, now the last part, B. Go do B right now if you didn't do it, because I'm going to start correcting, okay? So pause if you have to. All right. If you have heard about muggers using snakes to rob people, then you have heard an urban legend. Most urban legends have several characteristics in common. There are usually several different versions of the same story. They often take place in urban areas, and because they sound bizarre, but not obviously untrue, many people believe them completely. So number 1, heard about. Number 2 is legend. Number 3, in common. Number 4, versions. Number 5, bizarre. All right, and that is our lesson for today. Just one unit. If you guys have any questions, call or email the school. That's it for me, and I'll see you guys on Thursday, okay? Bye, guys.